Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Wednesday, January the 18th, 2023. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I will shortly be joined by my partner here in DFS NBA, Mr. Crash Davis. He's going to be, he got tied up on a call, and he is going to be jumping in. We're going to put together some lineups for you today. We're going to look at some opportunities for a two brains are better than one lineup. We're going to also give away a ticket to a contest tonight. So great to see everybody. I jumped in last week and Crash said, hey, let's go after it here today. Let's do a two brains. We haven't done a two brains forever. So this is going to be fun to build one and get it going. And it's a phenomenal night. 9 games. We have the extra 30 minutes, which is really weird. 7:30 start even for the first game, even though there are 9 games. So it should be an outstanding slate. Love some of the matchups. The ownership is sort of wild today with all of, like the Clippers with George and Kawhi sitting and all of those different scenarios. So it's definitely a mixed bag of tricks today, but we think we've got some really good plays for you to put together, and we're really excited to share them with you. So great to see everybody, by the way. And hopefully you're following along and with Coach Talk and putting some winners together. I know Crash, Deb's done a great job. Everybody's working hard here at Coach Talk. So we want you to know we really do appreciate every one of you. And if you haven't joined, you haven't tried Coach Talk, why not do it now? How about a free week? One full free week. I'll post it in here in the chat here at some point. And if you want to try out the free week, then this is the time to do it. All you have to do is click on, jump in, and see what you think of Coach Talk. So great stuff. Oh, I think we've got, there he is, the man, the legend, Josh Crash Davis. How you doing, buddy?
Long time no see, Coach. I feel like it's been like 3 years since we did a podcast.
I don't remember the last time we did one together. And I was just mentioning to the family here, we can throw a two brains are better than one lineup together, which I don't think we've done in 2023. At least you and I haven't.
We definitely haven't done it in 2023. I don't even know if we did it in December of 22. So
wow. All right.
Been a long time.
Yeah, I don't, and you know what? I don't care. Whatever one you want to do it with is fine. We can let the peoples decide, as they say.
For sure.
As we're going through this and breaking down the 9 games, you can vote for DraftKings. We'll do a 5-man build together, or Fanduel. We'll do a full Fanduel or a full YAHOO. So we'll let the people decide if that's good. But how's your call go? How are you doing today, Josh?
Oh, yeah, it went well. Just went a little longer than I thought. So, but doing well. Just a busy day today.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I see you've got your at JP Davis 1982 up there, which is good. I just have Coach up there. I'm just the lonely coach. But if you want to check me out, at Joe Sarvati on Twitter, or you can check both of us out at DFS Coach Talk. Went through all the other information as far as just laying the groundwork. Other than saying hello to everybody, let's do that real quickly. King of all trades beats everybody the punch. So congratulations for jumping in there. I appreciate you. BG, how are you doing, man? Glad that you are with us today. Double D, David Dulac, who missed my last podcast, and it was shuddering that I didn't have David D on it, but he's here today, so good to see him. Rose Miller, Rose, I haven't done that in a long time. Octavius Bailey, Travis Wyndham, who almost got us over the top with the atomic heart today to get me on this podcast, but it paid off because we got everybody else to jump in as well. So very, very good. Good to see you today as well. Doug L. We're turning that into Doug W, as I always say. My man, Earl Pep, known as Mike Tyson, We got him taken care of finally today. He was the big one of the winners of the contest yesterday. So we gave him Cash App. He's ready and geared up for tonight's contest. JT, how are you, man? Justin Timberlake just coming off the tour. Love to see you again, man. Look at this group coming in here. We got Stacks Money 77. We better have Stacks Money 77 because we got Luca tonight, and he might just be my avatar again today. We'll see. But great to see you, my friend. Let's see who else is in there. Octavius Bailey votes for DraftKings, Two Brains Core. So there's one vote right there. Aloysius 5, what's up, my friend? There we go. All right. We got everybody. I said hello to everybody. Hopefully some more folks will leak in, but we've got a lot of work to do today, Crash. We've got 9 games.
We do.
We'll fire through them all, and then we'll tally it up here towards the end of breaking those games down. We'll look at some ownership, some defensive efficiency, some pace, talk about the guys that are in and out, get all of that stuff squared away for you. And then we'll decide what Two Brains based on the votes in here. We got a FanDuel vote. So we're gonna have all kinds of votes coming in, figure out the Two Brains lineup, and then we will give away a ticket to tonight's contest too. So
yeah.
All right, my friend. Crash, it's weird being in here with you. I
know. I feel like I should be talking, and you probably feel like, I don't know. It's different.
You know me, I never shut up. So
yeah,
you don't have a chance.
Right.
All right, buddy. Let's get it.
So, it's different for sure.
It is. It's great. All right, here we go. Game 1. Oh, by the way, I just have to say this because it's an inside funny joke. Mike Tyson there, Earl Pep Tyson voted for FanDuel. How's that for?
Oh, yeah.
We know he's always digging for FanDuel info. I love it. All right, Game 1. Atlanta Hawks, again, 7:30. We get the extra half an hour. Can you believe that, Crash? 9 games, another half an hour free?
I know. I couldn't believe that because normally when you have anything bigger than like 4, you've got the 7 p.m. Eastern time start. So, yeah, I'll take it, though.
I was shocked. I really was. I had to double check. I thought I did put it down on the sheet wrong. I was like, what?
Same here.
It's cool. All right, Atlanta Hawks 22-22 at the Dallas Mavericks 24-21. Isn't that a coincidence? I'm on the podcast, Luca against Atlanta at home in Dallas. That's not like a giveaway, is it?
Right.
Hey, I have to say one thing too. I know I'm way all over the place here, but how about them Cowboys? Huh? I had to throw that in there for all our Cowboys backers for Coach Talk. Sorry, man. I was so pumped up.
93, Coach. I can't believe it's been that long since they won a road playoff game. That is insane.
Oh, I can't believe it. Believe me, it's like a half a lifetime, for God's sakes.
Man.
So we'll see. San Fran, what a tough matchup, though. Good Lord. They're tough.
They are.
I'm just happy we got one. That's all I care about. The other double D's in the house. Look at this back. We got quadruple D. Damian Darby, David Dulac, all together here in one. So I know you've seen a couple of double D's, and no, we won't go there. All right, let's get back to Atlanta and Dallas. As I mentioned, no injuries reported for Atlanta. As far as the Mavericks, it looks like Luca, DFS, and Josh Green are all going to play. No Hardaway, Kleba, or Wright. We've got Atlanta with the 8th fastest pace in the league. We know Dallas plays super slow. They're the 2nd slowest team in the league. From a defensive efficiency standpoint, Atlanta 12th. And what I'm really super concerned about is Dallas is only 23rd defensively after having a top 10 most of last year. So I'm a little concerned there. Let me give you the line on this game so we can get Vegas to weigh in with us. I'll get the latest one there. Nice Dallas by 2.5, which is not much. 233.5 is the total in Vegas, which is a really sound total. There's 4 other games up in that number, including the late crazy Sacramento Lakers 246.5 game, but decent number considering these two teams are going at it. And, we'll see how this rolls. What is your initial take on this game, Crash?
Yeah. So for me, it's interesting because I haven't really been doing the pay up for the guy that costs almost 12K or over 12K lately. I've
Yeah,
been trying a more balanced lineup approach.
right.
So I'm not really sure if I'm going to be playing Luka, as much as I hate to say that, just because of his price. It's just so hard to get to that. And I
Yeah.
feel like there's some guards on this slate that have a very similar ceiling. So, but yeah, for me, on Atlanta, I think, the only play that I really looked at all, and this would strictly be a tournament play, would be John Collins. Dallas has allowed the ninth most fantasy points to power forwards this year. And his last 5 games, he's averaged 52 DraftKings points against the Mavericks. So he's only averaged about 23 his last 5 games that he's played, though. So his recent performance doesn't lead me to think he's going to have a big night, but his matchups with the Mavericks do. So it's an interesting play. Like I said, only a tournament-only play. Luka, he is in play, obviously, on any slate. I think Christian Wood could be a decent play. Atlanta's allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to power forwards, the 6th most to centers. So he's kind of in between the positions there. And then with Tim Hardaway Jr., I think Dorian Finney-Smith is a value play, is in play a little bit. But those are the main plays I had in this game.
All right. I see this game a lot differently. First of all, I love the implied total here. Atlanta 115.5 and Dallas 118. So you know me going back for years now. When I see both teams implied over 115, I have interest because generally that means it stays close. There's a chance for overtime. There's a chance for bigger numbers. And as far as Luka similar to other guards production-wise on this, for me, it's not close. I have Luka 6.5 points higher than anybody else on the slate, not just guards. I'm talking Joker and the whole group. I just think Luka in a smash spot. He's averaging crazy amounts of minutes, 38 minutes in a lot of games. He's fine. The ankle's fine. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. No Tim Hardaway. Atlanta does not play great defense. And I love the fact that I think, 12-4 is really, to me, underpriced for Luka. I think he should be 13K plus. I mean, he's been that dominant. And I'm going to build, I've done like you have recently, those medium level builds where you don't have to dive down and take any lousy value. Sometimes pays off. But this is going to be a totally different build for me today, Crash. I'm going with 2 superstars and making it work from there. And I can because of all of the guys that are out for the Clippers, etc. So Luka is going to be smash and play, buy up in all my lineups. Again, I don't play with my heart. I play with my brain. I just think it's a perfect spot for him. He and Trey seem, since the draft, when Trey was drafted 1 spot ahead of him, he seemed to have that, where they both want to outscore each other all the time, which is great. So I'm fired up for Luka. Don't like anybody else on the Dallas side. I'm not going to mess with Atlanta. And I know that Dallas hasn't played great defense recently, but the problem for me has been the same all year with Atlanta. With Trae Young and DeJounte Murray both in there and priced pretty high, I just don't feel like I get any bang for my buck.
Yeah.
And now you've got Capella returning. So you've got the Collins, Okongwu, Capella rotation, taking rebounds from each other. Plus, I think John Collins sucks. So take that for what it's worth. He's a bum. He's shooting like 20% from 3. It's insane. Or maybe not that bad, but it's bad. So really, that's it for me. I mean, this game is going to be, one of those classics, Luka and move on. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. I mean, I don't think he's a bad play by any means. It's just really expensive. That's all.
He is expensive, but if you can find the value, then, you can make it work. Wait till you see my second expensive guy. Then you're going to really think I've lost my mind. But I can fit them both in on all 3 sites. I've already done it because I didn't want to give out 2 superstars and then have everybody saying, hey, coach, we can't fit our guys in. So I've got both superstars in FanDuel, DraftKings, and YAHOO, and can make it work. And I don't feel like I have to throw up with my last pick or two. There's some guys that are going to get mid-30s minutes. Whether they produce or not, we'll find that out.
Yeah.
So let's roll to game 2. That game is also at 7:30. It's the Washington Wizards 18-26, the New York Knicks 25-20. How about the fact that there's no injuries listed for either team? When have you seen that recently?
Yeah, that's definitely been a rare thing for sure.
That's nuts. We've got the Knicks a 5-point home favorite, and it's a 224 total. So, with these 230 and 240 totals in 4 of the 9 games, makes it a little bit hard to swallow when you have to mess with, something in the low 220s. But you have that scenario where old Tibbs is back to his old deal again, playing guys a billion minutes. RJ Barrett played like 40 of the 44 minutes, or 48 minutes the other day, on and on. So Quentin Grimes getting monster minutes, Julius, even Mitch Robb playing mid-30s. So he's getting back to that, which makes the Knicks always a little bit more playable. But as far as pace goes, that's why the number's down a little bit in Vegas. They're 17th and 21st, respectively. And their defenses are pretty decent. Washington right in the middle of the pack at 15th. And the Knicks busted into the top 10. They finally got there. They are 9th in team defensive efficiency. So a little bit difficult here. Beal back for Washington makes it a little bit of a mixed bag. If you want to sneak in a Kuzma or Porzingis.
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy about this game. Maybe a value guy like a Grimes or something, which isn't dirt cheap anymore, or a Mitch Robb. But after that, man, I'm not too crazy about this game.
Yeah, I'm not either. And I do think that Porzingis is going to have a better game than he had on Friday. He had like 28 DraftKings points. I mean, that should be unheard of for him. But
he does it though. He's that kind of guy. If his brain's got into it, man, he takes games and he plays off.
I mean, we saw it last night with James Harden. I mean, I couldn't believe he did that. So
that was nuts.
It was terrible. I'm kind of in the same boat. Jalen Brunson would probably be the one play that I would look at a little bit. He did have 61 DraftKings points against the Wizards on Friday. He's averaged right around 50 last 5 games. He seems to really be fitting in well in New York. Randall's been, pretty hot lately, but this is a pretty tough matchup. They've allowed the 5th fewest fantasy points to power forwards, the Wizards have. So probably going to be Brunson or pass in this game for me.
Yeah, you got to love Brunson too, man. Yeah. It makes me just sick to my stomach that the Mavs got nothing. Do you realize they got nothing for him? I know I talked about it like 20 shows last year, but they got nothing. They no return, no trade, no picks. He just went. It's sickening. And they he wanted to sign a contract prior to. So I don't know.
Didn't he get the max contract with the Knicks?
Oh, he got everything but before that happened, during the season, he was going to sign with the Mavs for like 84 or one of those numbers.
They wouldn't do
it. The Mavs didn't want to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They wouldn't do it. The Mavs.
I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Doug L., how can anybody love Porzingis? He's such a dork. No, sorry, man. That's just bad blood. I'm
tissue, however you call it. What do you call him? Tissue, paper tissue, or something like that.
Yeah, Kleenex. He's Kleenex, about as tough or soft as a box of Kleenex, whatever you want to say. But craziness, man. I mean, the thing with Porzingis, he can put up big numbers, but with Beal back, he's not a break the slate kind of guy, and he's expensive. That's true. That's for me, my opinion on that one. All right, you ready for game 3?
Yeah.
Don't forget, people. We're gonna do a 2 brains are better than 1 at the end of this. Crash, since I do most of the jabber and I never shut up. Can you keep tallying the votes to see which what we're doing? Because we're not getting many votes in, so we'll have to do 2 brains are better than 1 for
I'm seeing a lot of Fanduel here.
I think I saw one DraftKings and one Fanduel. I don't know if anybody else voted. I vote for YAHOO, so if that
I
counts.
saw 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, I'm going to game 3 while you're looking at that.
I've got 4 Fanduel and 1 DraftKings so far. No one's voted for YAHOO. So
yeah, that's looking like a slam dunk as of right now. All right, we go to game 3, and that would be, let's see here. My order is off, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Charlotte and Houston. Charlotte by 2.5, 236.5 total, 119.5 implied for Charlotte, and 117 for Houston. So good, solid numbers there. That makes a big difference when you're looking at how you want to weigh these out. You've got 2 pretty fast teams, Charlotte 9th and Houston 14th. So very good there. And 2 crappy defensive teams, Charlotte 27, Houston 28. So that is definitely put a circle around it and try to get some exposure to this game. There's no question about it. Injury-wise, we do have, I believe Hayward and Martin are going to be out. They're listed as doubtful, and Oubre as well. The big question mark in this game is Kevin Porter Jr. He is questionable. If anybody has new information, please post it in chat here and let us know. But that is the only thing that is pivotal right now in this game. So what do you think here, Crash? It's a very tempting game. 11-34 Charlotte, 10-34 Houston. Back to my Wembanyama, dueling here. I don't know if either team really wants to win, but
right.
What do you think here?
Yeah, there's some plays here on both sides. The Hornets, Houston has allowed the most fantasy points to point guard. So I think LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier are both in play. On the other side, Charlotte's allowed the most fantasy points to center. So I like Şengün a lot. He just had that monster game on Monday against the Lakers with 70 DraftKings points. Wow. I think all the bigs here, Jabari Smith, Kenyon Martin Jr., I think all 3 of those guys are in play here. So that's where I stand in this game. So I probably have, at least 1 or 2 on the Charlotte side and then maybe 2 or 3 on the Houston side.
I don't blame you, man. This is a good targetable game, no question about it. With going with the 2 superstars, the second to be announced here in just a bit. The only difficult part about that in my builds is I really want a lot more exposure to this game than I've got in my initial builds. So
yeah,
keep working on it. But right now, it's a little bit difficult. I like Jabari Smith at that $5,800 number on DraftKings. He's been more and more, or I'm sorry, on FanDuel. He's been more and more a part of what's going on. I do agree with you. Şengün's been a terrific spot. I really did consider LaMelo Ball for quite a bit of time here, just because the statistics you read on Houston and their defense is so poor against point. Right. He certainly could have, break the slate kind of game, but there's a lot of great plays here. So he slightly got outgunned here for me for the second pay up position, but I would not blame anybody for playing LaMelo Ball. He would be my favorite play on that side. I know Mason Plumlee's grabbing a lot of ownership. Some people are gravitating to even PJ Washington because he's cheap. A lot of people obviously going to go with Şengün just because he's now really emerging. So let's do this, Crash, since we're talking about ownership a little bit. Let's give a quick look now so that we sort of get that off the ground here and behind us so we can focus. So I'm just going to talk about DraftKings for the moment. These are the up-to-date projected ownership. And it looks like we have a massively high favorite owned guy, and it's Naz Reid from Minnesota. Yeah. With Gobert being ruled out, he's only 4,800. Would you believe he's in 73.5% of projected lineups?
70. That's the highest I think I've ever seen.
On a 9-game slate? I wonder if that's, I just updated it, so I don't know if that's an error on the projection or not, but the bottom line is he's going to be chalk, and the bottom line is I really like him, Crash.
No, he's the same on Fanduel and Yahoo too. I just looked.
I agree with it. It's like a free square for me for 4,800. He's a solid play against a Denver team on a back-to-back. So
yeah.
After that, then it becomes reasonable. So we've got from 2 down. I'm just going to give like a top 20 just snapshot. So when we're referring to these, you'll understand where they stand from an ownership perspective. The rest of these are from 27% down to 15%. Robert Covington, Mason Plumlee, Luka, LaMelo, we mentioned both of those. Josh Giddey getting a ton of play.
Yep.
Jose Alvarado is 6th. He's not starting, but people have just gone bonkers for that $4,400 number.
That's interesting because, yeah, he's coming off the bench.
I think it's just one of those momentum things.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is there. That's weird.
I think that's somewhat fake chalk to me. I hate to say it, but I get it. If everybody's trying to jam in high-priced guys, I get it.
Yeah.
Then you have Norman Powell, Miles Turner, Darius Garland, who I'm considering a ton, but we'll talk about that when we get to him because Donovan Mitchell doesn't look like he's playing. So we'll talk about that. But Rubio's back. LeVert's going to come off the bench. Yeah, so we'll talk about Garland. Then you've got Dort, Mobley, the Joker. He's such a stud, man. And then here we go. TJ McConnell grabbing a ton of ownership. Another guard off the bench, correct? Or
yeah, he is coming off the bench. Yep.
So I'm not sure why that. I know he's a steal machine and all that, but I'm not sure. And then, you're going to get a lot of guys from Indiana, Oklahoma City. We've already said a bunch of them, and there's a bunch more because these teams play fast and they don't play D and they're cheap.
Right.
So you got Nembhard, Heald, Mathurin. Those guys are all cheap. And then you have Karis LeVert. I mentioned he'll see an uptick with Mitchell out. Najee Marshall, who's been solid minutes-wise, safe minutes recently. Marcus Morris. Me, I used to be the Marcus Morris whisperer. Now I'm down on him. He's out after that last fiasco he put together for me. RJ Barrett, who played 1 million minutes, only 6,600. That's a sneaky little value play. Aaron Gordon, Jalen McDaniels, that's J-A-L McDaniels from Charlotte.
Right.
Then you have Terrence Mann, Jamal Murray, who looks like he's going to play, Jalen Williams, and don't get mistaken, I'm going to admit it right here because the old coach here is human, and I will admit I may have played the wrong Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City.
It's easy to do. It's easy to do.
I've always told everybody, don't let that happen. Double check, look at the picture, do this. Yeah, I did it under the gun, trying to make maneuvers. And I'm sitting there, Jalen scored a bucket. I'm watching the game and I look at my thing and it's 0. I'm like, what is going on? And then I saw the the different look with the ice. Oh my God. So make sure you play the correct Jalen Williams. Right. And I like the smaller Jalen Williams with the bigger hair. Or is he the smaller hair?
I think he has the smaller hair.
Smaller hair. The other Jalen Williams has the one that's out. That's why I got screwed up. I got the hair screwed up. And I'm a hair expert. So, all right. So, did we as far as we talked about pace? Did we talk about pace in this game yet?
No.
I don't think we did. All right. Here's the thing. 4th and 5th in pace, Crash. So we've got some serious speed in this game, Indiana and Oklahoma City. I'm going right into that from our ownership.
Okay.
24th in defense from Indiana, 11th from Oklahoma City. So I'll go back. I know I didn't do Miami and New Orleans yet. I'll do it. I'm out of practice, man. I'm rusty. I'm all over the place here.
Yeah.
Right. As long as everybody's paying attention, we'll be okay. Travis Wyndham gets 2 votes for the Ultra Heart for DK. We're going to give him an extra vote. Also, Lanny Job wins a free ticket for posting, liking, and reposting with a comment on Twitter. So for members, don't forget, you can win an extra ticket just by doing that as we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about Indiana and Oklahoma. Indiana's 23-22. Oklahoma's 21-23. Those are 2 teams. The fact that they're hovering the 500 mark, not a lot of people expected that.
Definitely not.
I mean, that's an impressive job of coaching on both sides. And old Rick Carlisle, I'm not a big fan, but he's done a very admirable job.
Mm-hmm.
Dagnall, the OKC coaches, he and the Memphis coach are my 2 favorite coaches other than Spoelstra in the league. I love those guys.
Yeah.
The Thunder are 3.5-point favorite. It's a 239 total.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you've got the 2 of the 5 fastest teams in the league and teams that defensively are not good. 24th, Oklahoma City 11th, so better than they have been. But this should be a breakneck pace, and I think this game is going to get a lot of ownership, and it deservedly should.
Yeah, for sure. And I just saw this team on Monday. They're playing against Milwaukee, so I had a pretty good look at them. There's quite a few plays here that I like, starting on the Indiana side with Miles Turner. He is averaging 41.6 DraftKings points in January. He had 53 against Milwaukee on Monday.
Yeah.
You mentioned TJ McConnell on DraftKings and Yahoo. On DraftKings, he's 5,500. On Yahoo, he's $18. But on Fanduel, he's 7,600.
That's nuts.
So I'm not paying 2,100 more for him on Fanduel. I will pay that on DraftKings and Yahoo for sure, though. He's averaged 43.3 DraftKings points his last 4 games. He had the second best game of his career Monday.
Yeah.
The Thunder, they're not great on defense, as you mentioned. These teams are just shooting, especially Indiana, from what I saw on Monday, they're just shooting a ton of threes. And so, McConnell can shoot threes, Turner can shoot threes. The other guy I like is Buddy Hield. He had 50 DraftKings points the last time he faced the Thunder. Now, that was last year, but these teams are going to go up and down the court. They're going to be shooting a lot of threes. So it's really all the guards and Miles Turner. So you've got McConnell, Hield, Turner, and then on the Thunder, SGA and Josh Giddey. So SGA, he had 60 DraftKings points the last time they faced Indiana.
Yeah.
I think that, Drew Holiday had 63 on Monday. I think that he's definitely capable of getting 60, maybe even 70. I mean, I think that he's going to be one of the top plays on the slate. He is one of the people that I mentioned that I thought could be close to Luka. I don't think anybody has the ceiling that I should rephrase that. I don't think anybody has the ceiling that Luka does on this slate, but I think that for the value, 2,500 cheaper, that you're going to get a pretty good return, on your investment there. So I like SGA, and I think Josh Giddey can do almost just as well. He scored 50 plus in 3 of his last 4 games. So he's quite a bit cheaper. He's 7,500 on DraftKings, 7,900 on FanDuel, $27 on Yahoo. So yeah, it's all these guards for me, and just stacking this game quite a bit actually. So.
Well, I'm glad you said what you said, because I agree with you. SGA is my second buyout, so I'm going with 2 guards.
I like that. Yeah,
I've got Luka and SGA everywhere, and I know it sounds like silly, but I think those 2 guys are going to combine for 150 fantasy points tonight.
Okay, that doesn't sound silly to me. Actually, it doesn't.
I see like an 80 and a 70. Keep it simple, stupid. That's my old KISS theory. Yeah, and right. I can make it work. I built the lineups on all 3 sites with both of them in there. From everything you just said, I agree 1,000,000% that, I just think that he's a slam dunk here. And I'll take 150 from 2 guys and then build from there if I can get there. And both games should be competitive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So yeah, that's my theory in that one. I think, some of the value on Indiana makes it work, and it makes sense. Nembhard, Heald, Mathurin, those three specifically make it work for me. I also, like I say, with SGA, I do like the Jalen Williams, the better Jalen Williams. And that's isn't it Jalen?
Jalen, yeah.
No Y in the good Williams. Remember it that way. There's no Y in the good Williams.
Yep.
So I'm going to have the most exposure to this game than any other game on the slate for the reasons that I stated, and I think the reasons that you emphatically agreed with. So that's fantastic. I got to do a quick double check here because it's so much fun to see the family in here. Haven't got to say hello to a lot of these folks in a long time. Joe K, how are you, my friend? Great to see you in here with us. Also, Absolute Power, how are you, my friend? Thank you for being in here. We've had a few other people. If I missed you, Bev jumped in, I think. Hello, Bev. Just a lot of people jumping in. It's fantastic.
It's awesome. There's Todd lives for Sundays.
He lives for Wednesdays today. That's what it is. I said Todd live for Sundays for like 3 months, by the way, like a dummy. But now, Todd filled me in. I got it. Now I know Todd lives for Wednesdays. Hey, the other thing I wanted to say is, remember, we have this is the pet for dogs. Who was I can't remember who the member was, but
the charity, yeah.
Yeah, the charity for this month, we give anything that comes in as a super chat, we give away to charity. So don't forget, 100% of that goes to the charity. Let's see.
We got somebody from England or something.
Cheering, you'll not experience such a thrill. Fans of cheering lightnings. What is this? I have no idea. Is that something good, bad, or indifferent? What are they talking about? The EuroLeague baskets.
It's somebody international that's watching our show right now.
Okay, well, that's cool. Welcome to, can you pronounce that name for me, Crash?
No. No chance.
Not a chance. No. We need Google Translate, but I wouldn't even know what to say. But welcome. And I do love Eurobaskets. Did you see Luca's comment the other day? He said,
I was just about to say, Luca and Giannis both were making comments about how much more difficult the EuroLeague is than the NBA. Yeah. And
they said they watched that more in their spare time than the NBA. So I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, back to it, man. We still got a long ways to go. I think I missed the one game that isn't there a game still that we have to do? Did we do Miami, New Orleans yet?
No, but I don't have a whole lot for that. Do you?
I'll just blow through it then. Miami 24-21, the Pelicans 26-18. Miami's favored by 3.5, a paltry 220, an embarrassing total here. Bad pace, Miami 24, New Orleans okay at 12th. But you have two of the top 7 defenses, 4th and 7th. Most of the guys are back for Miami with Lowry, Hero, Butler, and Adebayo all in there. So I'm not playing any Miami guys. I agree with you there. I wouldn't mind grabbing one value guy, a Najee Marshall or Trey Murphy maybe, or Jones, or one of the guys if Jones plays for the Pelicans. But I will not have more than one value human being probably from the Pelican side in this game.
Yeah, it's especially on the Miami side, like they've got all their guys back now, basically. So you don't have all the value that we've had lately with them. So I'm not going to go there. I'm probably not going to go the Jose Alvarado play. That just, like you said, it seems like bad chalk. Maybe Najee Marshall, but I don't really even need to go there. So I'm pretty much fading this game overall.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to do that. No question.
It has a 220 over under. So,
I mean, you can't mess with that. The next two games are also in the 220s. So 2 games that aren't going to be that popular either. Although Cleveland, Memphis may get interest just because it's 2 really good teams and a great game to watch. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's great DFS game.
No.
You've got Cleveland at 28-17 and Memphis at 30-13, which is really amazing. We know Mitchell, Wade, and Windler out for Cleveland, Green out for Memphis. So you have most of the guns, for both squads, other than Mitchell, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got the slowest team in the National Basketball Association in Cleveland, but you have the second fastest in Memphis. So without Mitchell and a massive pace up for Cleveland, that makes me want to have at least one Cavalier in my lineup, believe it or not. But here's the problem, Crash. Do you know who the top two defensive efficient teams are in all of basketball?
Memphis and Cleveland.
They are. And that's why they're 58-30. So people that say you don't have to play defense are full of baloney.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis is 7.5-point favorite, though, pretty healthy favorite because Mitchell's out. But again, I talked about this earlier a lot. Garland, if I was going to go down from SGA to Garland, which was a temptation, I thought about it. However, Rubio's back. He's playing like maybe 20 minutes, which still, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then you've got LeVert coming off the bench, probably still. I think Okoro probably start. I just, I don't know. I think Garland's a fine play with Memphis pace, and I'm very tempted there. However, the defense is for real. So I don't know. What are you doing with this game?
Yeah, I actually don't have a lot here either. I do have Garland. He's 8,100 on DraftKings, 8,000 on Fanduel, 29 on YAHOO. Karis LeVert's also in play. He's averaged 33 DraftKings points without Mitchell in the lineup this year. He's 5,100 on DraftKings, 5,200 on Fanduel, and $19 on YAHOO. And those are the only two plays I have in this game. I don't have anybody on the Memphis side. I mean, you could look at any position just about, and Cleveland's right in the top 5 defensively. So it's just tough. So
I'm with you. And our new person that's in here, we wish we could pronounce your name, but welcome. And part of what I love about the coaches in the NBA are the passion. I know it seems like they're crazy, shouting and raging, but a lot of that is passion. They know what they can get away with, and it's motivational. So I love Eurobaskets, but I still think the NBA is the best professional sports league in the world. So just wanted to weigh in there. Got to defend our National Basketball Association. Yeah. All right, we've got 4 games left, Crash. The other game that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, again, this is where everybody's going to go for value. There's going to be a lot of Clippers grabbed. There's some cheap Jazz that you can grab in here as well. So even though this game's only a 228.5, Utah's favored by 8. Clippers have obviously no PG or Mr. Kawhi. So this is a tough one. 23-23 Clippers, 23-24 Jazz. We have Zubac's questionable, which is important. No George, no Leonard, no Kennard, no Wall, and no Olynyk for Utah. As far as pace, 25th Clippers, 10th Utah. Defensively, Clippers always in the top 10, regardless who's playing there. 8th Utah, though, all the way down to 26. So, man, I've got to admit, I'm going to go to some of this, value. I mean, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, even possibly a Nicholas Batum. I think those are all great value plays. I think Walker Kessler's, quite a bit underpriced.
Yep, I agree.
We do have Markkanen back, so I do like this game considering the value, even though the total isn't there with everybody else. How about you?
Yeah, I do too. And I think even if he plays, Zubac is in play too. Jazz have allowed the second most fantasy points to centers, so it's a good matchup for him if he plays. But he is questionable. So is there an update on that? I don't know, but I think he's questionable. Right. And then Norman Powell, yeah, I like Norman Powell when Paul George and Kawhi are both out, especially when one of them's out, it's a little bit more iffy. But if they're both out, definitely look at him. I even think Robert Covington is a value play. He's 3,600 on DraftKings, so
Yeah.
we do a lot worse than him. And then on the Utah side, I'm primarily looking at, I think, Jordan Clarkson and Walker Kessler. So not as high on Lauri Markkanen just because there's so many other options around that price range. So I couldn't get to him, but I don't think he's a bad play by any means.
I'm with you, my friend. All right, we have two late games, 10 and a 10:30. We've got the 10 o'clock games, the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets. Minnesota's 22-23. Denver, an impressive 31-13. A lot of question marks here, though. Edwards, Prince, and Rivers, all questionable for Minnesota. Gobert, McLaughlin, and Cat obviously out for the T-Wolves. Bones Highland and Murray are both expected to play, which destroys any value in the backcourt there. Jeff Green, doubtful. Gillespie, Watson not playing. If you're playing Jeff Green, Gillespie, and Watson, you need a new hobby.
Yeah.
However, what are we going to do with this game? Very interesting. Denver, almost a double-digit favorite. So this is a big number, the biggest on the board, 9.5. But you've got a big fat 238.5. Hard to ignore. Naz Reid's my plug-and-play center. I already mentioned that. I love him in this matchup with Denver on a back-to-back, and I just think Naz, he's always come through for me. When I played him in the clutch, and I like his price here. He and Kessler, I consider both. You can have both on some sites as well for value. Other than that, though, I don't know, man. I'm really struggling here. I want exposure to this game, but I really don't want to pay up for some of the guys, and some of the value plays are a little scary to me. So, Murray's been fantastic, but are they going to take it? I mean, this is his first time he's rolling on a back-to-back,
Right.
So that's a little scary. KCP can step up at value. I mean, there's a lot of potential plays here. Where should I go, Crash? Tell me, where can I grab a little exposure here?
KPJ is out. Yeah, I think we had mentioned that earlier, didn't we? Or maybe we
no, that's breaking news. He was questionable. So that does. We'll read and react to that one here. Go ahead and finish your thoughts on this game, and we'll go back.
Yeah. So Naz Reid, as you mentioned, I definitely like him. And then, if Anthony Edwards plays, he did have a really nice game on January 2nd against Denver. He had 52 DraftKings points. So he's in play a little bit. The Joker, I just really don't have the salary to get to him. Not that he's a bad play by any means, coming off of back-to-back against a team that's going to be without their top defensive center. But I just don't have the salary to go there. I think that, Aaron Gordon, he's had a lot of success against the Timberwolves, and they've allowed the fourth most fantasy points to power forward. So he's in play a little bit for me. But this game, other than Naz Reid, probably not going to get to as much.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm worried about it. I mean, if they're pushing a 240 number here, I may try to squeeze one other value play in from that game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Houston situation real quick, Crash.
Okay.
All right, with Porter out, that'll bump Green over to point. So that certainly makes me much more interested in Green. The question is, who are they going to start? I believe maybe Eric Gordon, Kenyon Martin. It makes me like my Jabari Smith value pick even better. Yeah. It also likes me like Sengun more at center than I liked before. The question is, can I find the money to buy up from a Naz Reid or Walker Kessler to an Alfred Sengun, because he's not that cheap anymore.
Right. He's in the sevens now. So yeah, that's going to be the question. Maybe you go to like a Robert Covington instead of Naz Reid to get to that. I don't know. I mean, that's just a thought I'm throwing out there. But
yeah, and Naz Reid, by the way, on FanDuel, I believe he has just center.
He's only a center, so that's the decision I had to make, was if I was going to play him or Sengun, because Sengun's one of my favorite centers on the slate, honestly. So it's tough.
I mean, with Porter out, the numbers go up for Houston because you get all the way around increased usage, especially for Green and Şengün and a little bit Jabari Smith as well. So, yeah, I think that him being out definitely encourages that game for me a little bit more. And I'll tell you what, LaMelo Ball could go bonkers here too.
That's really good. Yeah.
He's really due for a bonkers game. There's no question about it. Do you think these teams really give a damn if they win right now, though?
It really doesn't seem like it.
I mean, I don't think so either. And that's, I mean, you got a generational player,
right?
Wembanyama, and people keep forgetting to talk about that. But this is like when LeBron was coming up to me. And, I think you start tanking. Now, again, it's ping pong balls and all that stuff, and there's no guarantees.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'll take a couple of percentage points over a win by any stretch. So we will see. All right. Last game, my friend. It's a 10:30 game. Sacramento Kings 24-18, LA Lakers 20-24. LeBron James listed as probable. Shocker.
Yeah.
He's never on the list. No Anthony Davis or your favorite player in the league, Austin Reeves, or Lonnie Walker. They're all out. Full squad for Sacramento, who's playing with a purpose. 24-18. I think they get a home game if the playoffs were a home series. If it was, they might be 4th seed, something like that.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard not to root for the Kings. They've sucked so long.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost hope they win some games, but this how about this number? 246.5.
Jeez.
And Sacramento, a 2-point road favorite. So you know where my money is with Luka and SGA, but man, I mean, the last thing I want to do is be in first place going into this late game, and then neither team plays a lick of defense. It goes bananas. And everybody blows by us. The statistics back it up, Crash. Sacramento sixth in pace. The Lakers are 3rd.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're non-efficient teams. 25th for Sacramento, 22nd for the Lakers. So this is the $1 million question. How much can you have exposure to this game? And I'm going to do a quick update on the ownership. I just want to put an eyeball on it for everybody because I just, I know a couple of the latest things are going to change those numbers a little bit, but I think the key is, can you get exposure to this game? Do you buy up on this game, or can you go value? As far as what it looks like right now, even though this number is 246, everybody's sort of doing the same thing that we're doing. They're not getting ownership for this game.
I know. It's crazy.
So explain that to me.
I've got 6 guys in this game that I like. So it's really
but I'm looking at the top ownership projections.
Yeah.
And the first guy on the board is down at 7.5%, and that's De'Aaron Fox. Now, how is that possible? Explain it to me.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, they are pretty bad. They're 3rd in points allowed to point guards. The Lakers are. But, I mean, you've got Sabonis, you've got Fox, you've got Herter. All these guys have had really good games against the Lakers. And then running back on the other side, of course, with LeBron and Westbrook and Thomas Bryant, he had 51 DraftKings points against Sacramento on January 7th. So there's a lot of scoring potential here. It's just a matter of how many of these guys can I fit in my lineups, because I've probably got, a third of my lineup built around this game at the moment. So,
So you're going to be very contrarian by having a lot of players from this.
Yeah, and I thought this game was going to be the highest owned game, so that's really surprising. So I'm definitely leaning more towards the GPP build, I guess. I didn't think it would be. I thought it'd be pretty, because I've been doing these solo lately, so I kind of built with a single entry mindset. But I thought that would be chalk.
I mean, that when I looked at ownership early and then before the pod, and then now that I just updated, I just kept thinking these guys were going to move up the ownership, and they're not. It's really crazy. So, man, I find myself, based on what I've said, of course I'd love to recommend all these guys, but I'm not going to have the money to do it. I'm going to have to go with the cheap aspects here. The Keegan Murrays, the Troy Browns, the Malik Monks. I'm embarrassed to say some of those, but they can be drug across the finish line too.
Sure they can. Yeah.
Well,
now we got some news that just affected this game. Sabonis is questionable, so that's
massive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's out, De'Aaron Fox becomes massive play, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That
you got like Trey Lyles for value. That's going to be a huge play if he's out, and we're not going to know till probably 3 hours from now at the earliest.
Yeah, we got to follow that closely. I'll be prepared to make a double switch if I have to, but that news is huge. So keep an eye on it, keep watching, and we'll see where that, what that develops. Because when somebody's downgraded to questionable, it always seems like they're out. You know what I mean?
It almost, like especially this late in the night,
Yeah,
so,
no doubt.
Yeah.
A couple of things real quickly. I want to say Todd lives for Sundays. Glad to hear that you're feeling better, man. Prayers are with you. Get healthy. We need you in here. We need you to live for every day, my friend. So you betcha. Great to see you, and blessings around for you. Somehow, boy from Cali's trying to throw Mr. Joker into the mix. I haven't even given Joker a second thought, dude.
It's going to be really difficult. I mean, if you're going to play any of the guys we've been recommending, it's going to be really difficult.
I mean, you got to forget about Luka if you're going to go that route. And it's a back-to-back. I don't like the play. Sorry there, bro. Yeah, Sabonis, what it was going to say was probably the best play in that game. But, not now. That's for sure. So, we'll see. Yeah, I agree. Thomas Bryant, I always like Thomas Bryant too. His price isn't as cheap as I thought it would be, though, either.
No, it's not as cheap as I thought it would be either.
So we've got some question marks there. That is going to be a really exciting way to finish the day. So I'm excited for you to stack that game up, Crash. I hope you do.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough because there's some other plays that I really like that I'm going to have to give up, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right. So did FanDuel win the 2 brains?
Yeah, they did.
All right. So let's jump on FanDuel and let's build a lineup. Let's see here. I'm going to
go ahead. Are you going to take Luka, or are you going to go a different route on this one?
I'm going to take Luka.
Okay.
So go for it. I've got a couple of other value plays to make up for it.
Okay. I'm going to go with the guy we were just talking about. I'm going to take Thomas Bryant.
Okay. Is he center only?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nas. See you next time. I'm going to go with Terrence Mann.
Okay.
5,700. That's a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
All that usage has got to dump somewhere.
I'm going to say that what's his face? Sabonis is going to be out, and I'm going to take De'Aaron Fox.
Okay. So no SGA possibilities, but we need it. It's too much money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Jabari Smith, 5,800, trying to stay in that sub 6K to make up for the Luka purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us Bryant, Smith, Mann, Fox, and Luka, 54.25 per man the rest of the way.
Okay.
So not super cheap, but not a ton of cash to throw around.
I'll take, I don't know if it's KJ or Kenyon Martin Jr. I see both, but Kenyon Martin Jr. 5,300.
All right. I think that's a reasonable play. I'm going to go with Benedict Mathurin, 5,500, shooting guard. So that gives us 5,450 for a small forward and a power forward.
Okay.
We've got a Dallas, Sacramento, Clippers, Indiana, 2 Houston, and a Lakers. Gets a little touchy.
Take another Laker. I'm going to take Troy Brown.
Yeah, I thought about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's in my initial build as well. Okay, so that leaves me 6,500. Thank you very much. That's not bad. I'm going to go with Aaron Gordon. When I needed him, he stepped up for me this year.
Okay, how did you get to him?
Well, I'll read it off to you. We have $100 left. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Luka and De'Aaron Fox at point guard. So not bad. Terrence Mann and Benedict Mathurin at shooting guard.
Yep.
Kenyon Martin and Troy Brown at small forward. Maybe not our strongest position. Power forwards, Aaron Gordon and Jabari Smith. And Thomas Bryant at center.
Yeah.
Okay. $100 left over for that squad. Lock it in. That's our 2 brains are better than one in the first 2023 edition.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't done one together yet, but we definitely haven't. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Absolute Power asks a great question. This would be the time before I give away the ticket that you ask any questions, and then we'll scoot out of here. We're right at an hour. Is Trey Lyles or Damian Jones the play with no Sabonis or Lamb?
Trey Lyles.
I believe it's Trey Lyles as well. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to race to either guy though, to be honest. I think a lot of people, because they want exposure to that game, are going to see Sabonis out, and I think they're going to do by committee to, a little Lyles, little Jones, play a little small. I'm not going to go to any of the backup centers for Sacramento here. I'm gonna try to fit a De'Aaron Fox or make sure that I have some other exposure here, to both sides here. But that's what I think. $1 million lineup, says David Dulac. How about that? We'll all split some big bucks.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Last chance for any questions, and then I'm going to hit the randomizer here and give somebody a W. All right, here we go. The winner of a $10 free ticket. You can play it on DraftKings, Fanduel, or Yahoo. If I call your name, please jump on Twitter. You can check us out at DFS Coach Talk. DM your PayPal email, and we will shoot that 10 over for it so you can play it tonight. The winner is Davion Cuff. Davion Cuff is the winner of tonight's free ticket. So congratulations. Again, fantastic to see all these faces. King of all trades, BG, David Dulac, Rose Miller, Earl Pep, Mike Tyson, JT, Octavius Bailey, Stacks Money 77, King of all trades, if I haven't said it already, Aloysius 5, of course, our double D's all over the place here, David Dulac, and let's see, Travis Wyndham, and a lot of guys, Joe K, Absolute Power, Todd Lives for Sundays, our man from a foreign country that we welcome, that loves EuroLeague, that we can't pronounce your name, welcome. Boy from Cali, of course, one of the team. And Absolute Power, I think I said everybody. I probably missed somebody. If I did, I apologize. But all right, I'll be looking for that DM. Appreciate all of you. Crash, this was a lot of fun, my friend.
It was. It's been too long.
We'll do another one here down the road at some point for sure. But fun schedule tonight. Get after it, everybody. let's get it done for sure. So any final comments on your side, sir?
No, I think we've covered this slate well. And we could mention one more time before we head out of here about our free trial, free week membership right now.
That's right. You get a.
Yep.
Oh, I was supposed to post that in here. Can you do that real quick, Crash?
Yeah, let me do that real quick. Yep.
Yeah. If you click on the link that Crash is going to post here, you get a free week of Coach Talk for non-members. So jump in there. And then for members, if you have something that's expiring or expired, you can also take advantage of that as well. So appreciate all of you. Remember, you have the extra 30 minutes tonight. The lock isn't until 7:30 Eastern. So definitely something you want to take a look at. Keep an eye out for what we've got posting in Coach Chat and in our Discord in main chat as well. Mm-hmm. All right, there is the code. Just click on that. That's the link. Brett set that up for us, so you get a free week of Coach Talk, and we want to get things rolling, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, once you go Coach Talk, you never go back. That's what they say, man.
Yeah.
All right, Crash, have a great one, and
you too.
Look forward to seeing your lineups tonight. I'm going to definitely play, because I don't have much exposure to that LA-Sacramento game. I'm going to be playing your lineup somewhere for sure. Mm-hmm. So,
sounds
all
good.
right. Terrific, everybody. Appreciate it. Catch tomorrow. Who's on tomorrow? Is it?
I think I am.
You're solo? Yeah, we have Deb returning from the great land of Mexico. So we need her back in the mix. But enjoy Crash tomorrow, and I'll certainly be floating around as well. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Hump Day Wednesday. And Crash will see you again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA DFS, PrizePicks as well.